And just like that, we're back inside the festival right here on Carnival Radio live, syndicated on Discover Music Channel by PlayMasToday. And today we are talking to Mrs. Tia Dixon-Jackson. And
Johnson.
she's back from the high of Bahamas Carnival, June 6th. And now, like, what is the energy? How are you feeling after being out there in the Bahamas?
I am feeling great. I'm happy to be home because it was a lot of work, but it was worth every second. Bahamas Carnival was a vibe. They don't owe me nothing. We had a ball. Our revelers had a ball. The people attending, watching, spectators had a ball. It was a vibe. It was a vibe.
Now I hear a little twang in there. Where are you from?
I have Bahamian roots, Andros to be exact, but I've been living in Virginia for about 28 years now. So
Okay.
I've lived here longer than I've lived anywhere else. I grew up in Illinois as well. So I have kind of lived a little bit of everywhere.
Okay.
California.
So you're a traveled woman. You've been around the world like Lisa Samuel. You've been around the world.
Yes,
And
yes,
I
yes. And an
so
honorary Grenadian, I would say as well, because I have my family in Tempe. So
what got you into the carnival space?
living in Virginia, there's not a lot of carnival bands, and there weren't a lot of options at the time that I decided to launch. And I was spending a lot of time going to Trinidad, going to Grenada, coming to Bahamas, going to the carnivals in the States, and I just felt that there was a need, for another band here. So I launched in 2023 with the expectations of, just me and a couple of my friends. We gonna come out on the road and have a good time. And it grew from there. And every year our numbers are increasing and the vibes is getting better. Thankful and grateful.
Now let's pull that back because you said launching a band and you mentioned all of this stuff. Tell us first and foremost what it is that you do and what is the name of your company.
So we are Epiphany Carnival International, and we are in Virginia. Our base is Virginia Beach, but we do multiple carnivals. So of course, we do Bahamas Carnival because we must go home. So we do Bahamas Carnival, we do Virginia Beach Carnival. There was a carnival in Norfolk, so Norfolk and Virginia Beach were our base carnivals, and then we do Charlotte, Queen City Carnival. We do Raleigh Carnival, and we do Baltimore Carnival. So when you buy one costume with Epiphany Carnival, you can wear it multiple times.
Let's really delve deep into the blueprint of what Epiphany is. From what you're saying, it sounds like a traveling mass band.
Yes,
What did the carnival landscape look like to you when you decided to do this in 2023?
so the landscapes really was you buy a costume and as we all know, costumes are very expensive. You're spending, between $4,000 and $1,000 on a costume. And back then you were only wearing it once. And I felt that our revelers deserved the opportunity to wear that costume as many times as possible. So I partnered with some bands from abroad and local here domestically in the US. And so we pay a band fee, which takes care of our food and drinks and the logistics. And you pay your band free and you come on the road and you wear your same costume. Now I do have revelers who, because we do so many parades, they decide, I would like one, two. I've had some revelers buy 4 costumes because we do sometimes between 4 and 6 parades a year. So they can either use the same one and have it dry cleaned, or you can buy as multiple, because the way that I design my costumes the pieces are interchangeable. So one backpack design can be worn with either costumes from either of the four female options, one male option for my 2 sections. So I just kind of give a little versatility with your purchase, and it's working really well. It's being received really well.
Yeah, I noticed that that has become the new trend, the traveling mass band. I've seen it with several other carnival bands throughout the region. And when I'm talking about throughout the region, I'm talking about on the East Coast. My question to you is like, at what was the definitive moment when you said, you know what, we're not staying stationary? Because as you mentioned, carnival costumes are expensive.
And that was the premise why, as to why I decided to do destination carnivals, is because the costume was expensive and a lot of my revelers travel. So if they're traveling and they're doing a Baltimore carnival, I said, well, why not partner with a band in Baltimore who will host us so that my revelers get the opportunity to wear their costume again? And it's working pretty well. We started the very first year when we went to Baltimore, we had probably about 10 to 12 revelers that went with us. And this past year, 2025, we had about 30.
Okay.
So it's growing. And the very first year we went down to Nassau, we had about 20. And this year we had almost 50.
Okay, so your global destination is growing.
Yes, and I love it. I love it because it's a package. So they're not just buying the road, the carnival parade experience. They're buying a destination experience that includes carnival.
I like the spin on that.
Yeah.
The word epiphany implies a sudden, profound realization that changes everything. What was that specific clarification or realization that set the standards for what your brand is today?
Just as I said, when I was thinking about the money that I was spending over years buying a costume for every carnival that I attended personally, I felt that there was a need that wasn't being met by a lot of the bands as destinations. And so I said, listen, I have to fix this. And so I launched, and like I said, the very first destination we had was Baltimore. And then I contacted Mass Chaos down home, and I said, listen, I would like to bring some revelers. We want to come down. Will you host us? And they were like, let's do it. That partnership was a great partnership. We did 2 years together, and it was a wonderful experience for the both of us. And then I partnered with Ultramass in Raleigh. I partnered with Flamboyant Feathers in Raleigh one year. I'm partnering with a band for Miami Carnival in 2026. And we also partner with East Coast Limers in Baltimore. And those relationships have flourished. So now they come here to Virginia Beach and they bring their revelers here. So they're giving their revelers the opportunity to wear their costumes multiple times. It's working, and it's working for everyone.
And that changes the ecosystem of the carnival sphere, right? Because now you can justify spending the 1,000, the 600, or even the 2,000 on a carnival costume because you know you'll be able to utilize it at a minimum of 3 times out of the year, if not the entire tour. And every year you're adding new tour dates to the process. Now, without
Yes.
without giving away the secret sauce, walk us through a conversation with a carnival that has no knowledge of who Epiphany is. What's
So
your
I would
30-second pitch?
We are an all-inclusive ultimate carnival band. You will have the ultimate carnival experience with Epiphany from the time that we launch our theme until you come off the road Carnival Day. You will have the ultimate experience from our food, because I partnered with some of the top restaurants and chefs in the region to make sure your food experience is on the same level as your costume experience. I am a firm believer in the experience is what sells, not the costume. You can buy a costume anywhere, but you cannot buy an experience and memories anywhere.
Let's peel back the curtain for the listeners. To the masqueraders, it's beautiful designs, high energy, and pure vibes on the road. But to you, it's a massive architectural matrix. How does a traveling carnival band actually work from a logistics, production, and distribution standpoint? And heavy on the distribution.
So I handle my distribution myself. When I reach I generally go down whichever destination distribution, I go a couple of days earlier. A lot of times I go with all of the materials to make the backpacks or the costumes already bagged, and then we handle distribution, and myself and my team. The artists, because I usually travel with an artist, Moko Jumbi. We are a full, all inclusive band. I feel it's not an experience if you don't have a Moko Jumbi. So I am all about the Jumbis on the road. I am all about having an artist if it's possible. I generally have an artist singing everywhere we go.
Now, for people who don't know what a mocha jumbi is, I just recently found out a couple years back. But for as long as I can remember, I called them, and my mother called them, the manam on the sticks or on
Hmm.
the stilts,
Yeah.
because I had no idea what it was. Like, I didn't know the formal name. So anybody that's out there is like, "Oh, mocha jumbi, let me Google that." No, it's the stilt performance.
Yes. And I feel that you are not getting a full carnival experience without jumbies. Virginia Beach, we will have 2 or 3 jumbies because Virginia Beach is my home base. We have a jumbie that comes, Wiz, who comes from Baltimore area. We just added a new jumbie who lives locally, and she's a female jumbie, so I'm very excited about having her. And then we have our jumbie Bishmi who travels with us. He was in Bahamas with us. He comes to Virginia with us. So we will. It's a vibe, and they are amazing. Wiz also is a fire breather, so he comes with a lot of extras.
Wow. Just that in itself, just visualizing that in itself sounds like an experience. Now, every region has its own distinct cultural heartbeat, local rules, and community dynamics. What is your underlying philosophy when entering a new city?
I just want to try and first incorporate whatever the food is of that region in our menu, because like I said, I'm heavy on the food experience because I am a foodie. So I try to partner with some of the local food influencers so that I have an idea of what that region, what the people of that region tend to like and eat the most. And just, a local DJ if it's possible, because we want to have, as much representation from the region as possible.
What is the biggest myth or misconception people have about running a mobile band across different territories that you have completely busted along the way?
Well, the main thing is that the costumes won't be on the level, and that the experience won't be on the level. You get the exact same experience in Virginia with Epiphany Carnival that you get in Bahamas, because our partners have the same passion and the same goal as we have. So it will always be an what we call elite carnival experience.
An elite carnival experience. You just crossed the official launch pad on June 6th in the Bahamas. Talk to me about that experience. How did the energy on the island set the tone for what the diaspora is going to see from Epiphany throughout the rest of the year?
Bahamas is always our first carnival for the year, and it is always a vibe. And it grows, like the anticipation. It sets the pace for how things go with us for the remainder of the year, and the vibes are just always just next level, and it gets better. It gets better. I am so proud
Go ahead.
of my partnerships with the Bahamian bands. I'm so proud. Listen, I am a proud 242. I'll just say that. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
just being on the
He
road
was on the head.
in
He was on the front page of the Guardian, eh?
yes, and I listen, I can't wait. I haven't had the opportunity to show my dad the photo of us on, and then he is going to cry. He's going to be so proud, and I am proud. I'm proud, thankful, and grateful, because little old country girl me had an idea, and now we were on the page in costume on the streets of Nassau. Just a very, like, full circle proud moment.
You know, the simplicity of the offer is what stands out to me when I hear Epiphany. The simplicity of the offer, understanding that there was a hole in the market and you filled it with a solution, because there are countless people that want to participate in carnival and feel that it is too expensive, or want to participate in multiple carnivals throughout the season but feel that they can only afford to do one. With this option, you now have the ability to do multiple. How, and I'm going to go back to this because I want to fully understand how it is that you're able to offer this experience. And when people sign up, are they able to sign up for multiple carnivals at the same time? And if that is the case, what are the price points on each carnival that you offer, or do they vary based on whatever's offered in that space?
So it's based on what the band fee is for the destination, and to date it has been around 150. So I feel like that is very affordable. My costumes are very affordable. I work very hard to keep the prices of my costumes as minimum as possible. Try with this market, it's very difficult, but I to date have been able to keep the costumes under $1,000, and that is for an ultra costume. So I work very hard to make Carnival Mass as affordable as possible, because it can be a very, very costly habit. And with the destinations, it could be very costly. So I work very hard in partnerships with the destination host bands to keep the cost as minimal as possible. And they have the same desire to keep mass affordable, because if we don't keep it affordable, we won't have people on the road. And that is ultimately our main goal, is to keep people on the road and enjoying what we all love, and that is mass.
So, for clarity, because people are asking these questions and trying to understand and get their head wrapped around the idea of a traveling mass band. For clarity, you purchase the costume. The costume is XYZ price. That costume is for that destination. When you decide that you want to participate in other destinations, it can easily be as low as 150 and as high as whatever, right?
Yes. So the destination. So on my website, you are able to select which destination you want to participate in. You purchase your costume, and then you decide which destination. So say for instance, you purchase your costume, Virginia Beach is included because that is our base. It is included in your purchase. If you choose to do some of the other destinations, you pay a destination fee. The destination fee, as example, Bahamas destination fee was 158. So that 158 covered your food and drinks and amenities on the road.
Okay, so you as a masquerader, you have to pay for your travel and hotel and all that.
Oh yes, yes, yes,
So you're
yes,
only offering the experience, the road experience.
yes,
Got it.
ma'am. Yes,
See that, because people say, "What? That's all I have to pay
yeah.
$150, and I
Oh
can."
yeah, I wish. I wish. I
Shoot,
wish.
if I could only pay
Yeah.
$158, I would be what? You see,
Yes.
we need to talk about boil down. But anyway, um, looking at the calendar, you have a massive rapid fire trifecta coming up. You got Charlotte on June 27th, Baltimore July 11th, Virginia Beach on July 18th, and then we head into Miami Carnival in October. And I'm sure in between that, you have personal travel dates because like we play mass.
And
So
I have Grenada.
how do you manage those tight turnarounds without losing an ounce of premium execution?
My team, I have the team sent from God. I cannot do this without them. So that is how I'm able to do this and go to Grenada for 2 or 3 weeks every year in between all of the carnival dates we have, because I am always going to Spice Mass.
Okay, understood. So teamwork makes the dream work.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about your team and how you went about vetting these people, or did they just fall into your lap?
So most of my team is my family.
Gotcha.
Um, and a couple close friends who have the same passion and love for carnival as I do, and they're from everywhere. We have a Rasta man on our team who helps with the wire bending. He helps with covering the boards, wrapping wire. We all do it. I'm the person who does the designs. So I come up with the initial designs, and the team helps with the production, the feather production. I ship my, because the numbers have grown so rapidly, I'm no longer able to keep up with the demand. So we ship our costumes, our body wear, we ship it off to a production company for production. But all of our feather, our mohawks, and we are the queen and kings of mohawks. I think we sell more mohawks than anything. We sell more mohawks this year than we did actual feather backpacks. Everybody is like, I guess they're just loving the mohawk thing now.
So, Charlotte, Baltimore, and Virginia Beach all have distinct variations of the Caribbean American diaspora. What unique flavors or experience can masqueraders look forward to when Epiphany touches down on the asphalt in those specific cities? Like, how do you bring in that cultural aspect from those particular cities with the diversity of the Caribbean American diaspora in those cities?
So we come with our team, and our team consists of our jumbies, our DJs. We are a full carnival band. When I say full, I mean we come in with everything. All we need is access to the truck. That's it. We're coming with everything. We travel with everybody on the team travels, so that we given our people the same experience. We're giving them as authentic a carnival experience as possible, considering we're in the United States.
I say that to say, in certain places, you have more second generation Caribbean Americans than you have first generation Caribbean Americans. In places like New York, you have a very large contingency of Haitian Americans, Jamaicans, of course, and Trinidadians. So when you go into those places and you know that there's a heavier concentration of people, how does that shift the execution, or are you selling your experience and allowing them to participate?
That's exactly what we're doing. And they come, and they come, generally they come because of referrals, or they see something on the internet. They
Mm.
come, they observe, and they enjoy themselves. So it really doesn't matter where they're from or how many generations past they are. Once they see the experience that Epiphany is bringing, they want in, and we want them, because the more people who are learning our culture, I feel the better we are as a society, the stronger we are, the more informed we are.
When we create these spaces, people often see the spaces and take the financial obligations for granted. While I understand the pureness in the solution. What is the financial obligation that is taken on when putting together, let's say, a series of 5 or 6 dates in the space of a certain amount of time? Plus, you guys also do pre-event.
Yeah. So it is. It's very costly and very expensive. And with this economy being what it is, with the tariffs and the all of the things that have been implemented just in 2026, it has become a little more difficult. And we've had to come up with some other resources to try to keep mass affordable. And so
Right.
far, we are able to do so through our partnerships. I have Montego Island Grill, who sponsors our food. Intense Fire sponsors our food. So that has helped tremendously with some of our overhead, especially food, because food is one of the largest expenses for here for Virginia Beach, specifically, because this is our, like I said, this is our home. So food is one of our most expensive areas, and we have, thank God, like I said, through our food sponsors, restaurant sponsors, we're able to keep mass as affordable as possible.
Now, have you been able to take that same sponsorship on the road? Meaning, say you get a Coke or an Adidas sponsor. I hope for you.
I hope so as well. That is our goal, because we have now crossed from Epiphany Carnival to now we are Epiphany International Carnival LLC, because we are going to add an additional Carnival 473 to 2027. So look for us, watch for us, be ready for us, join us.
Well, clearly, only the people who know about 473 can understand what that means. So, Morse code. 2027, you have big things on the horizon.
Absolutely.
Because I really am in awe at the whole outline of this project, and I want to make sure that we're talking about it from a very intentional space, because people don't, again, prior to the last 3 to 4 years, there wasn't a lot of conversation around carnival, around Caribbean culture, or around the ecosystem that fuels the carnival landscape, right?
Right.
So I've constantly spoken about marketing efforts and how we get people aware of carnival, and not just jumping up in the streets, but the cultural aspect behind it, the historical understanding of what carnival is. How do you explain carnival to a non-Caribbean person to the point that it makes them excited about participating in something so, for them, I get all the time, it's sexually explicit.
Yeah, and we're trying to change that because it is not. It's for Epiphany. I can't really speak for other bands, but for Epiphany, it is more about the culture than it is about the sex. It's. I have children in our band, so we have a children's section, and here in the States, it's not as having children on the road is not as big a deal as it is in foreign countries. So I am very protective of what the children see and how my brand is viewed. I personally, we don't sell thongs, and there's no shade to anybody wearing a thong. But because we have children on the road with us, I try to keep it, as clean as possible. There can still be an absolutely beautiful costume without it being a thong, and it's just because, like I said, because we have children on the road with us, and I just don't want them to see that because they are our future. And without them, then our culture will die.
I love that you took that responsibility on. I recently saw a product and it was shared with me, and I was like, I absolutely, because I work in media, and I have always been very protective of the female image in my representation of women in creative spaces, right? And also, if I'm trying to get an international sponsor, there's certain things that don't align with there's certain things
Exactly.
that don't align with a jaguar or
Exactly.
or a puma, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I have to be mindful of all of the content that I put out. Plus, when we start looking at the social sphere, what is going to be allowed, and what can get your platform stricken down, or
Exactly.
taken down as a result of advertisements and or content, because again, we are bounded by the community guidelines of third party institutions that help us vocalize or publicize our products.
Exactly. So I am very mindful of that. I keep all of those things in mind when I do my promotions and the videos. And, I'm very, very aware of how the wrong image can affect your brand. And so I'm very mindful and very cautious as to what we put out and what we allow to be portrayed or are displayed as Epiphany, because it could harm you. It could harm your brand. It could harm, and it also can harm the image of Carnival as a whole. We are fighting down here in the States just to get on the road.
Right.
And if we don't tone down the sexuality a bit, then we are in jeopardy of losing the option to be on the road if we don't tone down some of the sexuality and some of the vulgar behavior that is starting to plague Carnival.
So that I have a question about, because I don't know if the vulgarity stems from people that are not authentically of the culture and are cosplaying, and I shouldn't say that, are experiencing it for the first time and participating in ways that they assume is the norm. And I
I
say that because you are seeing more and more second and third generation Caribbean people becoming influencers, and their focus is not the culture, but their interpretation of the turn up.
Right. And it's a misinformation because that is really not what culturally Carnival is. It's not really about that. It is about expression. So when I explain to people what carnival is, I generally tell them it is the most liberating experience that you will have in your life. You feel free, and it is your opportunity to feel free, to feel unjudged, to feel free and expressing yourself, expressing the beauty of your body without judgment. With that being said, a lot of times that is what they refer to. And I have to tell them that it is, it's really just not about the sexuality. It's not about the bending over and the jumping up on a car. And, it's not really about that. Carnival is not about, it's about our culture and continuing our culture and spreading information about culturally what carnival is.
So how do you equally entertain and educate without losing the euphoria of it all?
Generally, I just, I just kind of go further into depth with them on, what the origins of carnival is and how it is not really about the sexual aspect that they see on the internet or that they see, on social media or on TikTok. It's not about that. It's about freedom.
And these are one-on-one conversations, or these are opportunities that you have through your platform to share this information. Like, how are you executing this information?
It's both. Sometimes in my group chat, because I have a lot of American people who they're new to Carnival. I meet them in passing. I meet them in the grocery store or, in the park or, just my normal everyday walk of life. Cause I'm generally always wearing an Epiphany Carnival t-shirt, and that always brings on conversation and questions, what is Epiphany? And then I have to explain to them a lot of times, I have my phone, I whip out my phone, I'll show them, videos and pictures. And thank God my content isn't vulgar so that I don't have to explain, why this is being displayed. And so generally it leads to the conversation of what carnival is, how did carnival originate, and how does carnival look here in this region as opposed to how it looks in, say, the Bahamas or Trinidad or Grenada, what have you.
And talk about your marketing. Like, what are some of the when do you start marketing, and how do you execute marketing? Is it only digital? Is it physical and digital? Do you do radio ads? Do you do TV ads? Like, are you doing print? What are you doing in your cities and the cities that you are visiting?
So generally, I've been lucky. I've been blessed. I have had the opportunity through partnerships, relationships that I've been on our local TV to talk about Carnival and what Epiphany Carnival is. I've been on your platform on the radio. I've been on social media. That's where I do a lot of my promotions is on Instagram, Facebook, and we started, like I said, in 2023 with about 25 followers. and, and now we're up to about over 11,000 followers.
So followers, how many of those followers convert into full masqueraders?
Last year we had over 200 masqueraders.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. That
That's
was for Virginia Beach. Collectively over the entire season, we probably had about 325 because
300.
some persons they come specifically to specific destinations. They don't necessarily come to Virginia Beach.
So how many are reoccurring customers?
Oh gosh, a good amount of them. I have a solid 125 people who are diehard Epiphany. They're on the road.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Congratulations. That is a feat
Thank
that
you.
most people cannot achieve even after 10 to 15 years. So that is amazing.
Especially in this region where carnival is not big. So I am very thankful, very humbled, and very grateful because I know that, in this economy where, money can be very tight, that it is a choice to choose to come to Epiphany. So that is why it's always my goal to give you the best experience possible. It's not about me. This is about my revelers. It is always about my revelers and the experience that they get.
Now, once again, run down your carnival tour list for 2026.
So we started, of course, on June 6th in Nassau. Next, we're in Charlotte for Queen City Carnival, and that is the 27th of June. Then we're in Baltimore on July 11th. Then we have Virginia Beach on the 18th of July. And then we're in Miami with natural disasters. We are going to have a ball. So so, all you listeners out there, if you want to have an authentic carnival experience, we'll see you on the road.
And I could tell you one thing for sure and two things for certain. Natural disasters have the best food.
And I'm here for it.
They have the best food. They own they actually the owners actually own a restaurant.
Oh gosh.
They don't like most other bands. They give you little no, they come like you ordering out of the store.
That's how I feel about the food here. And wait until you will experience it. One of my DJs, he's DJ's CL from New York. He says, T, the way your food set up, it looks like a buffet. He says as the truck is approaching, where our food tents are set up, he said, I saw the setup from the horizon. And he's like, my belly started grumbling because he knew it was time to eat. Let me tell you, we do not play when it comes to our food.
So Miami is a late entry for the season, right? How is
Absolutely.
Miami preparing to shift the atmosphere in the South Florida market to close out 2026?
Well, luckily, I have a solid product, and I got a very good reception from the public when I launched the costume. It's a very unique costume. It's not the typical carnival. It's not the typical costume that you see. I'm a little different. I think that's that Bahamian sauce in me. You know, we kind of like to go a little bit against the grain. So I added a little flair to it. So I feel like it will be received well in the Florida market. I can't wait. Will be my first time in Florida, not playing mass because I've been there as a reveler, but this is my first time as a band leader in the market in Florida. So I'm very excited and very thankful for the opportunity, Miss Ma'am.
Oh, yes, of course. For the people listening who want to touch the road with you and lock in their sections or support the broader vision of cultural sovereignty, where do they need to go right now to join your family?
You can either come to my Instagram page, Epiphany Carnival Instagram page, or my website, epiphanycarnival.com. Hit me up on WhatsApp. We will respond. We are very, very responsive. Like my whole team, we are very responsive. So if you send us a message, someone will get back to you.
Someone will get back to you. Don't forget, check them out at epiphanycarnival.com or Epiphany Carnival on Instagram. That is the ticket. That's the way you get in. Join the fam and travel with them for the Summer Carnival season 2026 or start planning your 2027 Carnival experience. But I suggest you get on the road at least one time in the US so that you can kind of get a feel for what's coming. Now, with that said, thank you for being inside the festival with yours truly, the one and only Africa Allah, right here on Carnival Radio Live, brought to you by or syndicated on Discover Music Channel by PlayMasToday.